Okay. How are we today?
Doing well.
Yeah?
Doing well.
That's all you got for us? Tell us about the week.
Simple. Good week, good week. Like 12 and a half K new MRR. So
Let's go.
we're rolling. We're gonna tell people today how to a couple quick tips and tricks to double their agency.
Let's
You want to
go.
go first?
Let's do it. First hit. Okay, so I was reflecting on 2023 yesterday, actually. Um, which was a year where I like really pushed my agency. Uh, and I did a lot in that year. I made a lot of big mistakes, but also grew the business quite a lot. Um, and came out of it with like a much bigger team and a much bigger company. I also did my first, if I remember correctly, let's see. I in 2023, in early 2023, I did my first 200K month. Um, so like I was like, oh wow, like this this is cool. Like you can really push this thing. Um, and I did lots of different things to optimize systems and hire more cold calling or cold outbound people and like scale the amount of meetings that we booked on a calendar. But ultimately, if I reflect on the year, the biggest thing that I did that year was I just doubled all of our prices. And I already thought that
Really?
they were high. I thought 4,000 US a month was expensive. But we doubled prices to the point where we had like 8,000 USD options and even a bit higher, I think. Um, like 8,000 US for people under 10 million a year or something, and then it was like 16,000 for people above that, like between 10 and 100, and then we had like a 32,000 price anchor that we didn't really sell, but we use as an anchor.
What would you say to
Uh,
someone who says, no, I can't double my prices? Like I'm barely closing people on what I'm charging right now. I'm charging
yeah,
2,000 a month. I'm a
yeah,
med spa agency. I can't
yeah.
I can't double my prices.
I think that if you got below a 20% close rate, it's like you got other problems to fix first. But I think if you're closing consistently, like you can try doubling your prices. We found that conversion rate didn't really change, believe it or not. So it went down a little bit, but it was compensated by, us even
High prices.
even if we closed half the people, it was still better because our margins were way better. So I actually think like if you're doubling prices because most of it just goes to your bottom line and service delivery doesn't really have to change, you can actually like take like a 66% hit on close rate, theoretically. So somewhere around that and still be
Oh
profitable.
wow.
So you can look at your gross margin and then you can use that to figure out like how much of a hit you can take on close rate. But yeah, I was just scared to double prices. But the thing that led us to do it was we started talking with these bigger and bigger brands. Like we booked a call with a brand that was spending 100,000 a day on ads on Meta, and for us at the time that was like what the fuck do we even do? And we were selling a service that was this full funnel approach. So it was like we're gonna take over all of your ads and landing pages and creative, and you have to work with us. And this brand's like, well, fuck off. Because we've got 10 to 15 different agencies doing all kinds of things for our business. We're not just handing it all over to you. Also, $4,000 a month is way too low. So we started losing business because we weren't charging enough. Well,
Really?
that was my hypothesis. Like we were actually losing business because we weren't charging enough. And the bigger the companies that were coming to us, like bigger companies that were coming to us, were just like, we didn't have pricing that worked for them. Um, so one of the biggest things I did that year was I just doubled prices, and then suddenly we were able to like actually get some much better sales motion. We were able to like afford more outbound and more people on that team. We were able to build better systems. We were able to get someone to start closing deals. Um, yeah,
I
so
mean, if
that's
I
my,
think
my
if
tip.
I just think what I would be able to do double prices. I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
it's a lot. It's a lot that I could do.
it's honestly one of
Um,
the recommendations I got for you today is up pricing again.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Uh,
I'm one of those who thinks I can't double the prices, but I mean, yeah. I think
what was your
when I
qualified show to close so far this month?
qualified show to close so far this month,
Yeah.
getting fact checked on live. Let's take a look. We are where is it? 38.46% qualified show to close.
Super reasonable to charge like 4,000 instead of 2,500 on
Yeah,
test.
I could do a lot. I could do a lot more with that increase. Quick tip number two. Quick tip number two. I'd say simplicity scales for sure.
Okay.
Less offers, less services, less team members, less everything.
Yeah.
Um, y- there's no need to have 5 offers at 50K a month.
Right.
Um, I think one thing that you've held me grounded to very well is I've wanted to add probably 10 offers in the last like 5 months.
Yep.
And you said just no, 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 only one, only one, only one. And I think
Yep.
that's helped me really put a lot of the focus into one offer because a lot of people think, oh, it's just another offer. But there's so much, there's a new sales process, a new pitch, a new cold calling script, a different approach, et cetera, that goes with that. So I'd say just keeping it very simple on the offers that you're presenting, um, and just keeping the business as simple and as lean as possible, right? There's $100 million businesses built off like one solution that they fix,
Right.
just one simple solution, and that's just they've done it very well and they've dispersed it at a high level. So
Right. Yeah.
simple.
To follow up on that, I was with somebody yesterday who has built some very successful companies previously, and I first met him on Monday this week. And on the spot, he asked to invest in my new company. Usually, I would say no, or, like, wouldn't be interested in that because I'm not looking to raise additional funding. But this guy was great. I'd love to have him as an advisor, potentially on the board in the future. So I was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. Come, welcome on board. And I met with him again on Friday, and I wouldn't say who this person is, but he was telling me about his experience working at Mercury, which is a bank for startups. We use it for OB, and those guys, like, they have an incredibly profitable business, like billion dollar company, just off of that product itself, like off of the banking for startups. It's super simple. Now they're expanding into other product lines and stuff, but they became a billion-dollar company off of the fact that they had a good bank account and they targeted startups that were just starting out, and then they used Mercury as the bank. And it's like really simple and kind of stupid, but like simple scales.
Yeah,
100%.
keeping it simple, not complicating things more than they need to. Obviously,
Mhm.
once you get to that point where you've scaled a $1 billion company, then yes, products, different product suites, different audiences, etc., would
Mhm.
definitely be useful to continue expanding. But like for an agency example, scaling in one offer to 100, 200, even 250K a month on just one offer,
Mhm.
more than doable before you need to launch like a low ticket funnel or something like that.
Cool. All right. I'll go simple tip number three, or quick tip number three, is be disciplined about profit. The more disciplined with your profit margins you are, the faster you see business growth. It's a little counterintuitive. Most people think the opposite. You'll probably get preached the opposite as well. Oh, take lower margins, all of this stuff from people that haven't been disciplined themselves. By the way, but oh, take lower margins, and you know, I think if you become a really experienced business operator, there's potential to actually make that work. But at least in the way that I did it when I was more of a noob, was I heard that I heard that and I was like, all right, I've got a 50% margin. I'm going to take it down to 10. let's really let's really push these expenses here and let's do everything at once. And in hindsight, maybe going from 50 to 40 would have been smart. And like using like letting myself see results with something specific before choosing to keep it and then adding something else. Um, but yeah, just be disciplined with profit. And the more disciplined with profit you are, uh, the more constraint you put on the business. So you do make things more difficult. But the best thing is money mostly doesn't solve your problems. And most people think that money solves problems. It doesn't really. Really, this thing solves problems. So by putting constraint in certain situations, you find better ways to do things. You find better solutions to things. Or you realize you need to make actual changes to your model, the model of your business, or the way that your service works, or the way that you pitch it, etc. And by doing that, every time I've done that with my own businesses, I've seen a lot of growth. And same for anyone I've worked with. Like every time that they actually become more disciplined with their margins, suddenly things grow because they go, oh shit, like I really need to change things up if I'm
I
gonna,
haven't even
make
thought
them.
about it like that, but it's 100% true. I think a lot of people just try throwing money at something,
Yeah.
paying this person more, right? Overpaying, to keep this person when that's kind of not the root cause. The root cause is actually, maybe the system, the scalability of it, so on and so forth. So I can
Right.
think of like 5 examples right now where if I wasn't disciplined about my margin, I would just throw extra money at something. But there's way better solutions that will keep the margin high and get us to the same solution, which is obviously how you build a business that is dominant above, other businesses, etc. Um,
1,000%. Yeah.
cool. That's a good tip. It's gonna be a hard tip to follow up on. Um, what is the next tip? What is the next tip? Um, I would say, hmm, there's a lot of tips that have helped, but I'd say one of the biggest ones is definitely find. And then this is gonna sound like I'm gonna plug my course or whatever right here, but you find someone who's walked the path that you want to walk. I think that's one of the biggest, most important things. I think it makes it 10 times easier. What I've also heard from people, and I kind of have it. I wouldn't say the second person is really like a mentor per se, but it's having one person that's outside of the niche and one person that's in the niche.
Mm.
One gives her a tactical advice, kind of for that actual niche. One kind of higher level outside of the weeds, that oftentimes you need to hear to be able to push through, and kind of look at things from a different lens. So, having someone who's walked the path that you want to walk, a mentor, whatever you want to call it, I think that's very, very valuable.
Oh yeah. Awesome. Four
That's
simple
a
tips
simple.
for your
That's a
agency.
simple tip.
Let's
Simple.
go. Implement
Um,
business if you're watching this. And then when it works, if you haven't already, apply to OB, and we'll
yeah.
help you do that. But
There's
times
the plug. There's the
there
plug.
you go. Awesome.
Um, yeah. Easy. Boom. Later.
See ya.